Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And here in this video, you're going to hear a lot of these devils on how they really feel about the world, how they really feel on, just things going on around them. And these devils are angry, man. And throughout history, when these devils get angry and they get uncomfortable, they tend to want to shed blood. Whether it's a holiday, whether, these devils got a history of shedding blood, especially the blood of you tribes, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, you Israelites, right? They have a history of shedding your blood, So, yeah, these devils, Esau is angry, man. Esau, if you did not know, Esau is the so-called white man, right? Who you would call white men today. We call them so-called white because they're not white. They are pink. They are red, right? There are different shades of red, from light pink to blood red. And I've seen it, man. Let these devils stay in the sun too long. You see it, man. They are red as hell. So, yeah, things are gonna get very violent, because these devils, man, they losing their kingdom. They're losing their power. They're losing their benefits. They're losing their minds. As if these devils ever had their minds. Whatever they have, they're losing it. So who are they going to feel is the reason that they're losing it? Yeah, they're going to say, yeah, Trump, this administration and this and that, but ultimately it's going to trickle on over to you, Jake. Don't trust these devils, man. I got a video I'm going to do a little later where you had another Eve that was found hung in Mississippi, man. So they catching you off guard and they doing something to you, man. So enough of the rant. Salakia. Let's play. Yabba Shem Yahushua willing to like be other five. Shalom.
Ladies, y'all may not want to listen to this because I don't know how serious this is going to get, but it's going to get pretty serious, okay? This is to all the lettered agencies in this country, United States of America. We the people want our country back. And we're not asking you to give it back. We're telling you we're taking our country back.
Oh, you think you're free in this country? Okay. It's an illusion. You wait till your car doesn't start. They shut off the power on you. You can't access your money in your bank account. They are building an electronic cage around you, around your children, their future. All these corrupt politicians are all a part of it. All of them. Every single one. You better have a plan. Things are going to get a lot worse.
One of the saddest things about the United States right now is how deeply unaware most American citizens are of what is coming for us in 2027, because we've chosen not to. Everything else is so crazy and we're all working too hard to get by. What's coming is going to hurt even more than what we're going through right now.
If you're not awake yet, there actually might not be any hope for you, because they put it out there for you. They put it right in front of your face every single day, all day long. They put it in your face. It's up to you to choose to actually see it. It's up to you.
I quit my job recently, I guess, to add to the voices of Americans who are furious with the way things are going right now. I had a good, cushy government job, made decent money, and I guess I just feel like I can't stand by anymore and watch these people in my country. I feel like we're seeing the last of a dying empire, and the people at the top are trying to squeeze every last bit they can from it and leave nothing for my kids and my grandchildren. And I guess I feel like I can't stand around and let that happen anymore. So, yeah, I'll become self-employed, and I'm going to at least spend part of my time speaking into this camera to see if I can help someone out there, you know, wake up, deprogram, maybe start to look around and, you know, see what's happening, and to be able to kind of, I guess, decode a lot of the bullshit that's going on right now. This right-left paradigm that they've put everybody in, it's all bullshit. It's all WWE. It's all professional wrestling shit to keep you distracted from the power structure at the top.
I truly feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone right now. And I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm frustrated, and I don't understand how we are literally looking at the desecration of democracy in the United States of America right now. And I feel like nobody is talking about it. Like, you go out in public and nobody's talking about it. I go to work, nobody's talking about it. They're talking about Love Island bullshit. It's just, I feel like everyone is sticking their head in the sand. Our food is being contaminated. We have no FDA regulations anymore. That's out the window. They're saying, oh, no, false positive. And yet people are just allowing it to happen and pretending like everything's going to be okay. It's not okay.
And what it seems like to me is that you got people that's waiting for somebody to make the first move. And that's what's going to happen, man. You know, somebody's going to make the first move. And that's going to cause a domino effect, because you hear them, man. All these devils, they're disgusted at how America is going. They're disgusted and angry and mad because they're losing their grip on this kingdom, right? And this is a blessing to see. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite for a moment, man? Because these people, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, woman, and child, are hypocrites. They are known as the wicked. And their reign is coming to an end, right? And they're angry. You think if these devils were well off, they would be in a camera speaking on the condition of Babylon the Great America? No. They got their money. They on their yacht. They on their vacation. No, but these devils, these low-level devils who feel like they didn't get a piece of the pie, is angry as hell. Right? It says, verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, right? His space system, his space force, right? His quote unquote moon landing, which he never did. It says, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he, man? And then who's this? The wicked. Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom. Right? It says, he shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Right? He's going to be thrown down. By who? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Right? Who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. Which that's not their names. The name of the Most High is Yahweh. And the name of our Lord and Savior is Yahushua, man. It says, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place anymore behold him, man. So these devils are going to be like a here today, gone tomorrow. Right? And these devils are in fear, because the prophets are telling them what's gonna happen, and they're seeing it. They don't want to admit it, but they seeing it, they feeling it. When they go home, it's plaguing their minds, and they can't take it, man. So they're crashing out.
Okay. When is the uprising going to start? Are we going to be the generation that just sits back and does absolutely nothing and doesn't say anything? Because I feel like that's the direction we're headed.
No, it's not just you. There's multiple people throughout my comments who've been saying that their vegetables aren't growing, their plants, tomatoes aren't growing. Some people, I think one person said theirs was up to 10 foot tall and wasn't producing any fruit. So we've had ours in the ground since middle of May sometime. I'll show you what they look like here in a second. It's pitiful. Just a quick snapshot of our tomatoes here. They're just kind of lollygagging along. They've tried to die multiple times. Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. We haven't even gotten a single tomato this year. And for the first time, we finally got zucchini and squash growing. So you're not alone.
I was having a conversation today with a friend of mine, and we were talking about privacy. Alexa was in the room when we were talking, and I said, that Alexa is probably storing every conversation you have in here and may or may not use that information against you later in the future. And we got talking about rooms in our home and what is the safest room in the home to not be surveilled or spied upon by cameras in devices of all kinds. And I thought maybe it's the bathroom, maybe it's the bedroom. But then I thought, oh, I have a new TV. And not everyone has a TV in their bedroom. I do. I might remove it after this. But all of these new TVs have cameras in them. Are they recording? Do we really have any way of knowing? Where does that information go if they are recording, even when they're off? Who's looking at that information and why are they collecting it? Do we think this is going to be used for good or for evil? All of these cameras, like flock cameras, they're being sold to us on the premise that it's for our own good. I don't think so. They're being sold to us as if you're not doing anything wrong, then you don't need to worry about this. What do you have to hide? Well, the majority of the population does not have anything to hide, but we do have something called dignity, human dignity. And there is a certain expectation that every single move you make, every conversation you have, every time you lift your child up into the air at a playground or in the swimming pool, that is not being recorded somewhere and stored in a data center that's killing the environment.
And it is, man. Everything is being recorded. They have this show called Big Brother, The Watchful Eye, right? And we don't care, man. You gonna do something to us for telling the truth, so what, man? Because listen, you devils, you're not in charge, man. It's the Lord that's in charge. Right? We're not looking to do nobody no harm, man. All we do is teach the Bible. So you and your feelings because of that, then oh well. Sound like a you problem, man. But yeah, everything is being recorded. Everywhere you go, right? Everything you type on your phone, every post you like, comment on, everything's being recorded by these devils, man. Right? And it's cool because, like I said, the Lord is in control. So, these devils not going to get to do anything that the Lord don't want them to do. Right? And this is happening because what? The triumph of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, man. Their kingdom is done. It's pretty much done. Right? So this is continuing Job 20 and verse 27. It says, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, right? The Lord. And the earth shall rise up against him, man. Everybody's gonna rise up against this devil, man. Right? You got wars and rumors of wars going on. It says the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. So all that he's gotten, is going to leave him when he decides he wants to eradicate society, man. He's going to be the one to it's pretty much going to backfire on him. Right? And you like I said, you low-level devils, you're not out the way. Right? All y'all played y'all part in this, man. Played y'all part in destroying the Israelites and robbing and doing all these evils toward the nation of Israel. All of y'all played y'all part, even unto this day, man. It says, this is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High Power, Yahweh, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. So, hey, you make your move, devil, the Lord gonna make his move.
It's being sold to us that it'll keep us safer. Well, in my experience, only about 10% of the population in any given environment, whether it's a classroom, a work environment, in society, 10% of the population is the problem, not the 90% who are doing their best every day to feed their families, go to work, have some dignity, not commit any crimes. Those cameras are not for the 90%. Please think about this. Please start using your voices here. I don't agree with this. And I think there's a huge disconnect with the handful of people and the government that's allowing this. And I'm not anti-government, but I am anti-intrusion of privacy. God bless you.
You know, those of us who are working on AI data farms right now and seeing the amount of money and labor and investment into this, and then you talk to some of your contractor friends and the budgets just aren't real. It's almost like the amount of money they're spending on AI farms, it's like money is not even real. If you're working on an AI farm, drop a comment below.
Remember how I said I lived out in the middle of nowhere with absolutely nothing around us? What's that? What is that? What is that for? Oh, you know, a free country. What are you monitoring? And why are our tax dollars being used to enslave the people, I wonder?
You know, there's roughly 20,000 humanoid robots currently being trained to work retail, customer service, product demonstrations, front of house, anything to do with customers for walk-ins. And currently, BMW, Mercedes, Amazon, Tesla are all using humanoid robots to build cars. BMW last year had 30,000 cars built with humanoids, at least humanoid assistants. And if you didn't know, currently in New York, they're testing out a humanoid teacher assistant, which we all know, if it works, will be replacing teachers. It's a trial program. Teachers union, not a big fan. Doesn't matter. We're all in trouble. So if you're not taking AI and AI technology very seriously with your job, I know what you're saying. What are they going to do if robots take over everything? How we buy things? I don't know. But I can tell you, I got rid of my landscaper, the guy that cuts my grass, and replaced him with a autonomous little robot that cuts my grass every day. And it was inexpensive. It was cheaper to do that than to pay him the rest of the summer. He also didn't show up a lot, so it just made sense. We're all in trouble.
So if you're a home gardener, I have a question. Are you seeing weird shit happen with what you've planted? Because I am. And my sister is. And some friends of ours that have a garden have been telling us some interesting stories about what's happening. Because we've done a couple of raised beds. And I'm out and I do my watering. I've given them some, some nutrients and some fertilizer, and everything was going great. I had like 5 or 6 green peppers that were coming up looking absolutely beautiful. And then we had a big rainstorm that popped up out of the blue, and I'm going, well, it's because of the humidity, right? And the next day I walk out and every single one of those green peppers were yellowed, beginning to rot, and pretty much dead and useless. I had a cucumber start to grow that was this big, bulbous on one end, and it ended up being like a baseball and then had a little nub on it. Friends of ours are reporting that their gardens are failing. My sister and my family plant a garden.
Yeah, because this devil was putting chemtrails in the air. So when it rains, those chemicals come down with the rain and it destroys whatever you're growing in your yard, and it's has chemicals that go in your body that attaches to your body that can cause cancer and different conditions and all that, man. You're literally living in hell, man. But this is Babylon for you. This is Babylon, and this is the rulership of the wicked, right? This is the rulership of the wicked, right? And people are hurting, man. You got these devils that, they just fed up, man. Like I said, Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Ain't nobody rejoicing. Nobody's rejoicing in this video you've seen, even though it's these devils. And these devils, this is their kingdom. They should be rejoicing, more than anybody. Right? It says, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So, you know who's ruling the world, man. You know who's ruling the world by the way the people are acting. If the people were rejoicing all over the world, then you would know that the righteous is in charge. But when you see people mourning and angry and upset and mad and fed up and stressed and depressed, then you know that the wicked is ruling the earth. So the proof is here in your face, man. It's here in your face.
Every year. They've had to redo beans 3 times. And what they're getting also in some of the squash and zucchinis are warped. They look more like gourds. So if this is happening in small gardens, can you imagine what's happening in the larger ones? But my question is, why after a rainstorm that just blew through out of the blue, did suddenly every one of my green peppers die overnight? The f is going on? And if you're not paying attention to this, friends, to what's going on with food in general right now, well, people are starting to pay attention. But if you have something, you can please put it in the comments, because yeah, shit's failing. Take care.
You guys see that shit out in Oregon where they want to ban hunting and fishing? What in the f is going on in this country? I mean, between that, these data centers, the ridiculous amounts of taxes that get extorted from us daily. How did we get here? What are we doing? It is beyond time for us to go to Washington, D.C. and drag these out by their head and all up. Dude, they are taking everything from us. And we just keep sitting here and letting it happen. Going to work every day, paying these ridiculous taxes. And then every time you get a bill in the mail, it's sky high. When are we going to stop it?
So you see, what type of spirit Esau is in, man. Jake in the spirit of folly. Jake in the spirit of partying. Jake in the spirit of holiday cookouts. And end of the summer get-togethers. You know? He's not paying attention to what's going on in the world, man. But these devils are. So this is going to end bad, man. Babylon is falling. Right? Babylon is falling. Tells you that in Revelation 18. Babylon is falling, man. So let's get one more. We're going to shut it down. This is Revelation 18. Let me just jump up. Revelation 18, the verse. I'm going to start at 4. Revelation 18 and 4 says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. And this is talking about the Israelites. Saying to come out of her, right? Spiritually come out of this place, right? Before the great deliverance, where you can be physically delivered by way of the chariots. Only talking to you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, man. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. Right? And that you receive not of her plagues, man, because this is a plague. Not being able to grow food and, you know, getting sick and all these diseases everywhere. And, you know, people, everybody's just losing things out of their lives daily, weekly, right? Monthly. The Lord has put a plague all over the earth, plagues over the earth. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High Power have remembered her iniquities, man. Babylon the Great. And who is the Lord talking about in this? The nation of Edom, along with the other nations, because all these nations had their part in destroying the Israelites. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she have filled to her double. Right? How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. And that's what you see. Babylon the Great being tormented, right? And having sorrow. It says, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am the widow and shall see no sorrow, man. Because what? You hear Trump speak and all these other leaders speak, they will have you think that America is going to bounce back. America, we're doing this for your own good. But at the end of it all, America is going to be in the golden age, right? It says, verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. So that famine is coming, that shortage of food, right? Great death and destruction is coming as well. So you devils, you get in front of a camera and you cry and think that that's going to, you know, we're just sitting here and who's going to make the first move? Are we just going to just not do anything? No, make your move, devil. This is your kingdom. Take it back. Right? But we know what prophecy says, that the Lord said that he's going to plague this place and then ultimately destroy it. So, hey, we know what it is. So I'm going to close out there. Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing, the elect of the Father, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. There's going to be a race war, man, a civil war. It's going to be a lot of bloodshed because these devils, them walls gonna close on them and gonna have them so tight, have a squeeze on them so tight that they're just gonna crash out, lash out, and it's gonna be a bloodbath out. Right? Shalom.